Good morning, students. Welcome to Code to Enhance Learning Beginners Web Development video series. In this video series, we are learning web development using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript so that by the end of this series, you will be able to create your own amazing websites. In today's lesson, we will learn how to quickly enhance the appearance of our web page. So this is our first theme called Things Around Me, where we are creating a web page to share three things about us or around us that we love. I have made a web page about three places I like near me. Similarly, you will make a web page about something which you would like to share with the world. We have almost reached to the end of our first theme, and this will be the last video of our first theme, and by the end of this video we will be in a position to make our amazing web page. In the last lesson we have learned to add images in our web page using the img tag, the link using a tag, and css using the inline style attribute. In this lesson, we are going to learn to enhance the draft of our web page in a quick manner. Ways to add CSS into your web page. In last lesson, we had learned about the inline style method to add CSS in our pages. This becomes very tedious and time consuming when there are so many elements as you have to add styles to each element one by one. So there are two other ways to add style to your page, namely the internal CSS and the external CSS. An internal CSS style sheet may be used if one single HTML page has a unique style. The internal style is defined inside the style tag which goes into the head tag. In this lesson, we will focus on the internal style sheet method. External style sheet. With external style sheet, you can change the look of the entire website by just one file. Each HTML page must include a reference to external style sheet file inside the link element inside the head section. The internal style sheet in CSS. So this is the format of how we can pass an internal style sheet in our HTML file. Here as we can see inside the head tag, the style tag is initiated, and inside the style tag we write the name of the HTML elements we want to apply the style to. Here for example is the div tag. This style added to the div tag will apply to all the div tags across our HTML page. Following the element name we write the properties and their values inside the curly braces. Now let's add internal style sheet to our HTML page. Okay, so this is our web page from the previous lesson, and let's copy the codes over here. And I'll create a new file naming lesson4.html, and I'm going to paste it here. Now I'll be initiating the style tag inside the head tag that will create the internal style sheet for me. Now I'm going to add style to the background color of the body. For that we need to initiate body followed by curly braces, and the background color, let's say I'm going to give it bisque color. Then I'm going to add style to my div tags, div followed by curly braces. First I'm going for the font size, and let the font size be 20 pixel for all my div tags. Font family, let my font family be Arial. Now the padding I'm going to give a padding of 20 pixel. Next margin I'm going to give 15 pixel margin. Then the width, I'm gonna set the width to say 1275 pixel. Okay, so these styles are going to add to all the div tags in our page. So let's see how a page looks in the browser. So this is how my page looks like after adding style to the div tag and the body tags. So now let's get back to our Visual Studio Code app and apply style to rest of our elements. So next let's add style to our heading tags. So first goes the h1 tag, then goes the h3 tag, and next we have the p tag. So now we are done adding styles to our page using the internal style sheet method. Let's now head into our browser and check how our page looks like finally. So this is how my page finally looks like. And now I have an interesting practice task for you guys. So pause the video right here. Now what I want you to do is create a copy of your saved file from the previous lesson and rename it as lesson 4. Use the internal style sheet method to add properties to your style tag of your page. Also explore the following properties and add them to your page, like color, that is the color of the text in an element, font family, that is the type of font, font size, that is the size of our text, margin, that is the margin outside the HTML element, padding, that is the internal margin of an element, text alignment, that is the alignment of an element inside our page. So I hope you are done with it. Let's move on with our lesson. The ID attribute. The ID attribute specifies a unique ID for an HTML element. The ID value can be used by CSS and JavaScript to perform certain tasks for the mentioned element with the specific ID value. In CSS, to select an element with a specific ID, write hashtag followed by the ID of the element. For example, as you can see here, adding ID head1 to our p tag, the CSS command we write hashtag head1 will only apply to the specific p tag containing the head1 ID instead of all the p tags in the page. So first let's start by removing the inline style tags in our HTML page. So it's going to be long and boring, so I won't show you. Let's meet after I've deleted all the inline style tags. So now all the inline style tags are deleted. Let's add IDs to our page. So I'm going to add ID D Concordia to the div tag of Concordia Lake and ID of Concordia to the image of Concordia Lake. Now in the similar way, let's add IDs to the rest of our elements. That is the div tags and the img tags. So next we go for the riverfront. And then Kolhapur. So now I'm done adding IDs. So let's add style to our IDs. First I'm going to start with Concordia Lake Division ID, that is D Concordia, and I'm going to set the background color of the division to light sky blue. Then I'm going to go for the image of the Concordia Lake, and I'm going to make it float right. So let's see how my page looks like now. So this is what my page looks like right now. So now let's go back and add style to rest of our elements. So next I'm going to add style to the rest of the div tags and img tags in our page. So next we have the img tag and the div tag for riverfront. And now we have the img and the div tag for Kalupur. Okay, so finally we are done adding style to our IDs. Now see how our page finally looks like. So this is how my page finally looks like. Isn't it pretty? Now I have an interesting practice task for you guys. So again, pause the video right here, open your Visual Studio Code app and open your saved file. Open the page in your browser and write codes using internal CSS with the ID attribute. Use the ID attribute to add colors to the background, to add the text color, to change the font family, to resize the image, to add margin and padding, and to add align text. Okay, so I hope you are done with it. Let's move on with our lesson. So now we are at the end of our lesson and you must be in a position to answer some of this question. This is your first question. Go for it now. Hope you got it correctly. The right option is option A. So here goes your second and the last question. Hope you got the answer right. The right option is answer B. So with this, we come to an end to our first theme. I hope you like making the web page to express some awesome things around you. In the next video, we will return to you with our second theme, that is different subjects I like. Till then, I'm Rishabh from Code to Enhance Learning signing off for today. Hope to see you in my next lesson of web development video series for beginners. Thank you.